Good day, class. It's Sir Capistrano again, and welcome back to Chem 21 Organic Chemistry. And for today, we will be starting to discuss the last topic for our Chem 21 Organic Chemistry. For today, we will be talking about amino acids. And by its name itself, amino acid. An amino acid is actually an organic compound that contains both amino group or our NH3 and also our carboxyl group, our COOH. So by amino acids, there are actually a lot of amino acids that exist in nature, but the most naturally occurring amino acids is what we call alpha amino acids. And for today, we'll be actually naming and giving the structures of those 20 alpha amino acids. Alpha amino acids are actually amino acids or in the amino group and the COOH group or the acyl group of our amino acid is attached to the alpha carbon. That is why it is called an amino acid. So by alpha carbon in this figure here, this is our alpha carbon. And sa lahat ng amino acids na yan, lahat sila ay ganyan yung structure. Meron lang tayong R sa baba or in those that R is actually an R group na sinasabi natin it is referred as a side chain. So, itong part na ito yung actually tinatawag nating side chain. And those side chains may actually differ depending on what type of amino acids we are talking about. There are actually seven categories or classes of amino acids based on those side chain na titingnan natin. And for today, we will be discussing 20 of them. This is actually apart from what we call essential amino acids. Though some of these 20 alpha amino acids or yung tinatawag ng iba na standard amino acids are included in this discussion. So for those classes of amino acids, we actually have seven classes of amino acids based on the side chain na meron sila. So we have those amino acids with alkyl group, with sulfur, with alcohol group, with aromatic group, with basic group, with acidic group, and amide group, which we already talked about on the conversion of our amines to amides. So, in that, balikan lang muna natin ulit. So, by amino acids, alpha amino acids are actually non-volatile crystalline solids that melt with decomposition at high temperature. So yun kung maaabot kayo dun sa inyong sa inyong biochemistry next sem, those yung mismo yung decomposition na yun ay yun yung tinatawag natin actually na protein denaturization wherein doon nangyayari yung decomposition of our amino acids. And also they are insoluble in polar organic solvents like benzene and appreciably soluble in water due to the presence of our amino group and our acyl group, yung ating COOH. Also, their aqueous solutions or yung kanilang dissolved in water solution behaves like solutions of substances with high dipole moment. Those high dipole moment is caused by our NH and our COOH. Also, the acidity of those sides, yung ating amino at saka yung carboxyl groups are actually very low. Hindi appreciable yung pagiging acidic or basic ng ating amino acid dahil dun sa presence ng dalawang yan, nagbabago-bago na lang yung kanilang acidity and basicity based on the side chain that is included in our amino acid. And also, amino acids are amphoteric substances. By amphoteric substances, they may behave or react with other substances as an acid or as a base. So, amphoteric siya. Pwede siyang maging base, pwede rin siyang maging solid. Basic. So, in that, for this video, we will just actually be looking into the structures and the representatives of these amino acids. And in here, we actually have 20 amino acids in this video. And the best way, sabi nila, to memorize this amino acids is just to write their structure or let's say draw their structure. So in that, we will be starting with glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, at saka proline. Then we will be discussing those with sulfur containing. We have there the methionine, the cysteine. We also have the serine, threonine. We also have here the tryptophan for those having aromatic groups, tyrosine, phenylalanine or yung nasa Neosep. We also have those with basic groups, our arginine, our lysine and histidine. Those with acidic group naman ay yung ating mga aspartic acid, glutamic acid. So, as you may see here, puro ano lang na nandito na abbreviation. We also have our asparagine, yung ASN natin, at saka yung glutamine, yung ating GLU. So, we will be drawing. We will be drawing their structures, starting with those aliphatic side chains or yung tinatawag nating alkyl side chains. So, the most basic amino acid is what we call the glycine. So, ano ba ang itsura ng glycine? So, as you may notice, sabi nga nila, di ba, pare-parehas yung structure nila, nagbabago-bago lang yung sa mga alpha carbons, nagbabago lang yung side chain. So, I go ahead and copy-pasted the structure I showed earlier na nandyan yung ating R group. So, for that, starting here, we will be just erasing those R groups. Tapos, we will just be replacing them with the side chains for each type of amino acids. And the most basic or the simplest form of amino acid is what we call the glycine, wherein that glycine actually just have a hydrogen side chain. So, that is our glycine. Or dun kung sa nakita nyo kanina, it is abbreviated as GLY or gly. So, the next amino acid is our alanine. So, dun sa nakita nyo abbreviation kanina, that is abbreviated as ALA. Or for alanine, we only have a methyl group as our side chain. So for the next aliphatic compound, we have valine. So by valine, or dun sa nakita nyo kanina, it is abbreviated as VAL, val. So it only have propyl group na nasa iso structure. So ganito yung itsura niya. So we have here a CH, then we have here a CH3 and a CH3. So that is our valine. So next on our list is our leucine, which is abbreviated as LEU. Okay? So, it has a structure na ano naman siya, isobutane naman siya. So, by isobutane, we have here a CH2. Then, we have here a CH that is attached to two methyl groups. So, that is our leucine. So, our next alkyl amino acid is our isoleucine, which is abbreviated as ILE. Okay? So, para lang din sang leucine, kung mapapansin nyo, parehas siyang leucine, pero yung pagka-iso niya ay nandun sa unang carbon or dun sa beta carbon. So, we will have here our CH, then we will have here our CH3, then we will have here our CH2, then we have here our CH3. And lastly, we have here our proline, the only alkyl amino acid with alkyl side chain na cyclic. So we have here our CH2, Then we have here our CH2. Then we have here our CH2, which is attached to our nitrogen here. So, ang mangyayari, mababawasan yung ating hydrogen dyan. So, instead of NH3, we will be having their NH2. NH lang pala, sorry. So, that is our proline. That is abbreviated as PRO or PRO. Okay. So, those are our amino acids with alkyl or aliphatic side chains. All of this alkyl side chains are actually what we call non-polar amino acids. So bakit sila tinatawag na non-polar amino acids? Ang categorization na yun ay naka-base lamang dun sa kanilang side chain. Since we have here alkyl side chains, and as you may have remembered or our discussion on the starting nung nag-start ng semester, maalala nyo na itong mga alkyl group natin, they have structure na saturated. That's why wala tayong polarity. Wala tayong, kumbaga, relative na dipole moment dun sa chain na yon. That's why they are called non-polar amino acids. Okay? So, those are the six alkyl aliphatic side chains na meron tayo. And in that, we have next is we have the sulfur containing side chain. So again, since pare-parehas nga ang kanilang structures, I just copy pasted the structures we had on the start of the video. So I just will just go ahead and replace those R's with the sulfur containing chains or side chains. So one of our sulfur-containing amino acid is what we call methionine. Okay, so methionine, that is abbreviated with this word, met. So, for methionine, ito ay isang side chain wherein we will have here two carbon atoms with corresponding hydrogen atoms. Then we will have here our sulfur. That's our sulfur there. Then we will be having another CH3 here. So that is our methionine. So another amino acid or alpha amino acid with sulfur is what we call the cysteine. For the cysteine, or abbreviated as C or CYS. Okay. So we have here a compound that has one carbon atom, and we have a thiol in the end. By thiol, we have there our SH. So that is our cysteine. Okay? So kung napapansin nyo, no, pinapalitan lang natin yung kanilang mga side chain. And we actually have here different amino acids. So for the next part, or the next set of our amino acids, we have this amino acids with alcohol side chains. So again, let me just go ahead and remove this R, and we will be replacing them. So one of the alcohol containing side chain amino acid is what we call the serine. Serine, or it is abbreviated as SR. Alcohols and alcohol containing and sulfur containing amino acids are what we call polar amino acids kasi may polarity na gawa ng presence ng ating sulfur for dun sa nauna nating page kanina. And for here, gawa naman ng ating OH, gawa na galing din sa alcohol. And for serine, we have here our CH2 and our OH. And we have another amino acid containing an alcohol side chain, our threonine, that is abbreviated as THR. Okay. So for this one, we have here a CH, with our alcohol. Then we have here a methyl CH3. So that is our amino acids with alcohol side chain, our serine and threonine. Right? So for the next ones, we have amino acids with aromatic side chains. So we have three of those. Let me just remove those R's. So unahin natin ang tyrosine. By tyrosine, it is actually abbreviated as TYR or tyr. Then we have here our methyl or our CH2. Then that is actually bonded to an aromatic group, aromatic side chain. So we will draw a benzene ring here. Then that benzene ring is actually substituted wherein we have here a para alcohol. Okay? And next is our tryptophan. Tryptophan is actually abbreviated as TRP. Okay? And for tryptophan, medyo mas complex yung structure niya. So we have here our CH2. Then nandito yung aromatics natin. So we have here first this bond wherein we have here our NH, a double bond here. We have bond here, then bond here. Nope. Then we have this benzene ring. Hindi ko napagkabit yun. So we have here this benzene ring. So this is our tryptophan. So next on our list is phenylalanine. So yung mga familiar sa inyo sa gamot, actually ito ay nakikita sa ano natin, dun sa cold medicine natin. And it is abbreviated as PHE or Phe. Then we have here our CH2. Para lang din itong tyrosine, ang kaibahan lang, wala tayo ng OH natin. As you may see here, halos parehas lang yung tyrosine, phenylalanine, and tyrosine are actually almost the same. Ang kaibahan lang ay yung presence natin ng OH at kung nakikinig kayo, mali ako ng spelling. So this is phenylalanine. So that is phe. Okay? So those are amino acids with aromatic side chains. So by aromatic side chains, we have their aromatic groups in our side chain. Okay? So ang next na yata natin ay those amino acids with basic side chains. So by basic, we have some base here. So for those basic, we have the arginine, uh, which is abbreviated as ARG. Then we have here our lysine, which is abbreviated as LYS. And also we have histidine, which is abbreviated as HIS. So for these compounds, medyo mahaba lang sila. Ano? So the side chains are actually relatively long. And what makes them basic is actually the presence of our amines. So by presence of amines, ganito yung magiging itsura nila. So for arginine, we actually have three carbon atoms here. We have CH2, CH2, then CH2, Pardon kung medyo hindi niyo ako naririnig at biglang lumakas yung ulan. But we have here our amine, our NH2. Then we will have here our carbon, and that is double bonded to another amine. Then we have another amine here. And as you may notice here, due to the presence of too much amines, this side chain is actually basic. Okay? By basic, this is polar and yet basic. So, next on our list is lysine. So, for lysine, medyo mas simple yung structure nito. So, we'll be having four carbon atoms apart from the alpha. Then, we will end this side chain with our NH3 positive. So, as you may notice, it is actually polar and but it is basic and it is basic. So for histidine, we will have here somewhat it somewhat looks like aromatic compound, but it is not. So we will have here our CH2. Then we will have here a cyclic analog of amine, wherein we will have here our NH, wherein the nitrogen is actually positive. Then we will have here a double bond to carbon. Then we will have here our NH. Then we will have here a single bond and a double bond. This is not aromatic as you may see because we don't have enough carbon atoms. As you may have remembered, we need six carbon atoms for it to become a benzene and for it to become an aromatic carbon. Okay? So those are our amino acids with basic side chains due to the presence of our amines. Okay? And in that note, our next amino acid groups or class of amino acids is those amino acids with acidic side chains. And those acidic side chains, and for those acidic side chains, we only have two representatives for those amino acid. We have here the aspartic acid, and it is actually abbreviated as ASP. And we also have our glutamic acid, and that glutamic acid is abbreviated as GLU for glutamic. So for aspartic acid, kung marirealize nyo, acid ito, that means we will have here a carbon compound and we will have here this acyl group, our COOH. That makes the amino acid acidic, yung presence natin ng acyl group. And also, we have the glutamic acid. Halos familiar lang sila ng aspartic acid. The only difference is the additional carbon atoms and hydrogen. Then we will have here our COOH. Okay? So, kung makapansin nyo, dahil dalawa na yung present na ano natin, na COOH, magiging acidic na talaga siya. Okay? And for the last class of our amino acids based on side chains, we have here amino acids with amide side chains. And for amide side chains, yun yung ating yung mga, aalala nyo, yung mga amides natin last time, those are our amines na merong carbox na connected sa ating acyl group or yung sa ating carbon that is double bonded to our oxygen. So for those amides, we have the asparagine. And also we have, that is abbreviated as ASN. And we also have our glutamine, which is abbreviated as GLN. Okay? So for our asparagine, we have here one carbon atom and corresponding hydrogen atoms. Then we have here our acyl group. So we have here our carbon that is double bonded to our oxygen. Then we will have here our NH2. So this part, kung mapapansin nyo, this is the amide part of our asparagine. So that is what's make the amino acid an amide amino acid. And for the glutamine, halos parehas lang sila. Kumbaga parang yung sa dito sa glutamic acid at aspartic acid lang natin, we just need to add another carbon atom. So we will have here CH2. Then we will have the amide part. So we have here C, double bonded to oxygen. Then we will have here our NH2. So those are the different classes of our amino acids based on their side chains. So balikan lang natin isa-isa. So these are the amino acids with aliphatic side chains or alkyl side chains. We have the glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, proline. Okay, these are categorized as non-polar amino acids. And we have your amino acids with sulfur-containing side chains. So we have methionine and cysteine. These are categorized as polar amino acids due to the presence of sulfur. Also, we have amino acids with alcohol side chains. We have serine and threonine. These are also considered as polar amino acids, although they are neutral. So again, we have here amino acids with aromatic side chains. These are also what we call magkakaiba sila, no? Itong tyrosine natin, siya ay polar. Itong tryptophan, siya ay polar din. Pero yung phenylalanine, or yung TEC, siya naman ay non-polar. Kasi wala siyang ibang atoms na connected sa kanya like nitrogen or sulfur or oxygen. So we also have amino acids with basic side chains. Basic sila due to the presence of amino acids. We have the arginine, lysine, and histidine. We also have amino acids with acidic side chains. We have the aspartic acid with one carbon atom and two hydrogen atoms. Then we have the carboxyl group, our COOH. We also have our glutamic acid. We have there two carbon atoms with corresponding hydrogens and an acyl group or carboxyl group. Then we have amino acids with amide side chains. So we have there the asparagine, which is asparagine, which is abbreviated as ASN, and we also have glutamine that is abbreviated as GLN pala, GLN. Okay, so that will be all for this video. We have there our uh, 20 alpha amino acids. Alpha being the amino group and the carboxyl group is actually attached or bonded to our primary carbon. Alright? So that will be all for this video. Thank you and have a great day ahead. Bye!